Okay, so we got Ethereum here. Yeah, recently very flat, but I think some action is going to be happening soon. So obviously, it is still bullish. It is above this moving average, but seems to be struggling significantly. I drew this out. I think it's going to retest this 1825 area. It seems to really be holding it though, but it has been making lower lows, lower highs, and it has been pushing this zone down. So this basically, so this zone here would have been up here previously, and then what's happened is with price here pushing this down, now this zone shrinks, so this area of resistance gets less and less and less. So I think that's going to happen again. I think price is going to push this area in more and more, and then so it's going to go like this and this, but until eventually it breaks. You can see the upside here, resistance is gaining. You know, before it used to be up here, now it's down here, so this is going like this, and actually you got this little mini zone here that's happened. So I do think that there's more pressure to the downside for Ethereum. I don't think, if you look on these higher time frames, I mean, there's just massive resistance up here, especially on the monthly. Last month was bearish engulfing. This month is kind of, doesn't really know what it's doing yet. It hasn't done a whole lot, so we'll see if it really starts to push down. As of right now, I mean, price is above on this moving average, so I still have to consider it to be bullish, but it's not. As far as temporary movement, it does not appear to be that way, just because there's significant, you know, these zones, these upper zones are coming lower, and these lower zones are pushing down more and more. So like from a liquidity aspect, price overall is just moving down and down, slowly but surely. And then, I mean, you got this huge zone here, so this 1825 zone has functioned as support, as buyer liquidity, and like I said before, it was up here. So like, according to these wicks, price was up here, you know, this was the support, and then all of a sudden, boom, this one knocked it down. And so now, like, this area is shrinking, and you can see, like, yes, it comes down to this area, and then, you know, huge bullish engulfing candle, but again, it only took us up to here, whereas before price was taking us up to, you know, above 1880. Now it's below. So I mean, it tells me this really wants to push to the downside here, and you know, I think this could happen. I don't the ranges are all over the place for these cryptocurrencies, so you can't really go off anything. I do have this marked out because I think this was, I mean, it was moving about 250 bucks a month, but I just don't think it will now. But yeah, this zone here is the only thing really holding it. After that zone, it's going down to, you know, probably 1650. So it'll go down like 200 bucks if it breaks the zone, and I think it will. So I mean, you do have some things favoring you right now. If you wanted to take a short position on Ethereum, it is technically counter trend trading because price is above this moving average. But I mean, you got these areas of seller liquidity. So like this one, this major one here above 1850, well, technically 1856, but I mean, really it's like 1850 now because you got this little zone here. See if we can dump it down on a 4 hour here. You can see price actually created, oh man, this worked out perfect. You can see price created a lower zone below this major zone here. So, and then you know, it's even pushing lower and lower. So like I said, these areas of liquidity are coming lower and lower for Ethereum. So I mean, it might be pushing, it might be ready to drop soon just because there's just not enough buyers. As price, every time price comes back up, it doesn't go as high, right? So there's less and less buyers every time price moves up a bit. So, and it's actually created this zone below this previous zone here. So you can even start shrinking this, kind of this area here, something like this. So yeah, I think Ethereum is probably a great short now. You just have to set your stop. I mean, if you wanted to be conservative, I would keep it above all these wicks here, and then yeah, you're welcome to target 1630. I don't think it's going to hit that this month, obviously. I mean, it would take a lot of liquidity, but most likely next month kind of thing, once the markets resume proper volatility. You know, right now it's summer holidays type thing, so there's a lot less movement in the markets in summertime. So but I think once price breaks this area, it's going to collapse, and I think it's relatively soon, because this area keeps shrinking and shrinking. So like, this is the only thing holding it up, and it's you know, week by week it's gonna go you know, and become less and less. So obviously that's just speculation. I could be completely wrong. Price could break above this zone, and then, you know, we're looking bullish. But there's just a lot of things against Ethereum right now from a technical standpoint that just demonstrates that it wants to go down. You know, like on a weekly time frame, you can just see all these wicks, you know, above 1940. Like, it just does not want to go up. So now it's pushing down. We can actually see last week, this is huge. So last week, bearish engulfing, sorry, just bearish, wasn't engulfing. And then this week was a pullback week, so came up, retested all those prices, those previous weekly prices, and then boom, pulled back. And you're gonna see this closes in 8.5 hours, and you can see it's closing as a pullback candle. So I am super I'm really interested in Ethereum right now and shorting it. I really do think it's going to come down. So I'd be looking to short it at 1850 and anything above it. So anything above 1850, I'm going to draw a line here. 1850 is my price of shorting this. So I'm going to add to my position as price comes above 1850. Every single time, I'm just going to add to it. We're going to move this over so I can see it a little bit better. There we go. So yeah, this is our little area here. Anything above 1850, sell it all day, and just yeah, be really mindful that these zones are shrinking. So this zone to the downside is shrinking, and this zone to the upside is shrinking. So and these are getting lower and lower and lower. So before, price had no problem breaking above 1880 with these wicks, but now, you know, these wicks are getting less and less and less, and with more and more rejection. So like this wick, for example, came all the way up to 1876, but by the time it closed, I mean, it still closed below 1855. So you know, like, huge rejections. So this really does want to go down, guys. That's what I'm banking on. That's what I'm positioning myself to do, for it to do. I'm going to take a short position anytime price comes up above 1850. You know, I'll target the long-term position right now of, you know, 1630. That's what I'm shooting for. If I'm taking positions, I want to make money. So I want, you know, I want to make a good amount, make it worth my while. So that is Ethereum.